Little girl exposes dad's fiancée at wedding. Shocking truth saves his life. Have you ever felt something was wrong, even when everyone else around you seemed convinced it was right? Today's story is about that gut feeling and an 8-year-old girl brave enough to listen to it. When her wealthy father announced his surprise engagement, young Lily knew deep down something didn't add up. But speaking up, especially when you're the smallest voice in the room, isn't always easy. What happens next will test their family in ways they never imagined. Stay with me as we unravel this emotional tale of trust betrayal and the quiet power of paying attention. Before we begin the story, leave a comment below, tell us where you're watching from, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our latest stories. Enjoy the story. The afternoon sun poured gently through the tall windows of the Callahan estate. Its golden light caught tiny specks of dust swirling lazily in the air, as if time itself had slowed down. Upstairs in her cozy little room, 8-year-old Lily Callahan sat cross-legged on her bed. Her small hands were busy carefully arranging a collection of sea glass. Each piece, soft and smooth, glistened under the sunlight treasures she had found with her mother on the shores of Nantucket, back when life was simpler. Lily was the kind of girl who noticed things, the kind who saw the small details most people missed. Her father often said she'd make a fine detective someday, but today her mind was elsewhere. Quiet, distant, Lily, sweetheart. Her father's voice floated up the stairs, warmer than usual. "Can you come down? I have something important to tell you." That tone. Different. Lily's ears picked up on it right away. Her father, Richard Callahan, wasn't the type for big announcements. Not since her mother passed away 2 years ago. Their days had settled into a quiet routine. Predictable. Safe. But empty in a way words couldn't quite reach. With gentle hands, Lily placed her mother's favorite lavender sea glass back into its little velvet box. She stood up, straightened her dress, and made her way downstairs. Each step down the grand staircase echoed in the stillness. When she reached the bottom, there he was, her father. Tall, handsome, effortlessly polished even in a simple linen jacket. The kind of man you'd see on the cover of Forbes, founder of a successful biotech company, admired by many, envied by more. But to Lily, he was just Dad. The man who hadn't smiled like himself in a long, long time. Until now. "There's my girl," Richard beamed, his eyes lighting up in a way that made Lily's heart both lift and ache. Something was coming. She could feel it. "Everything okay, Dad?" she asked softly, her curiosity tinged with caution. He motioned for her to sit beside him on the big velvet couch. "I have news, Lily. Good news." A pause. The kind that could bring a little joy back into our lives. She listened closely as he continued. "You remember Isabel Monroe? The woman I've been seeing for a few months now?" Lily nodded slowly. Of course she remembered Isabel. Elegant, always perfectly dressed. But her smile never quite reached her eyes. "Well," Richard said, his voice trembling with excitement, "I asked her to marry me. And she said yes." His hand found Lily's, giving it a gentle squeeze. "She's going to be part of our family, Lily. Isn't that wonderful?" The words hit her like a sudden gust of cold wind. Her heart thudded, unsure how to react. She forced herself to smile. Barely. "You're getting married." Her voice came out softer than she intended. "In 3 months," he said with a grin. "I know it feels quick, but sometimes, when you know, you just know." He spoke of Isabel with so much hope, so much longing for happiness. Lily felt the weight of it on her small shoulders, and yet something deep inside whispered, "Be careful." She remembered Isabel's perfect smile, polished, practiced, like a mask. "I want you to be happy, Dad," she finally said, swallowing her unease. Richard pulled her into a tight hug. "We're going to be a family again, Lily. Everything is going to be perfect now." But as he went on about wedding plans and future dreams, Lily sat there quietly, her mind tangled with worry. Why did this not feel right? Neither of them knew. That this announcement would be the spark that set everything in motion, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Callahan estate was unusually busy that weekend. Florists moved in and out, carrying armfuls of white hydrangeas. Caterers bustled through the kitchen, their arms full of silver trays. Everywhere Lily looked, someone was arranging, adjusting, perfecting. At the center of it all was Isabel Monroe. Graceful, poised, directing every little detail with a voice as sweet as honey but sharp as a blade when she thought no one was listening. Lily watched from her usual perch on the staircase, her small fingers curled around the banister. She could see it clearly how Isabel's smile would soften for the guests yet disappear the moment they turned away. How her compliments were timed perfectly. And how she spoke to the housekeeper with a tone just a little too clipped. "Lily, there you are!" Her father's voice echoed through the grand hall. He waved her down, his face glowing with excitement. "Come, darling. Isabel has something special for you." Lily descended the staircase slowly, carefully. Her heart felt heavier with each step. Isabel greeted her with that same polished smile, one hand holding a small velvet box. "I thought we could start our new chapter with a gift," she said, voice soft, almost affectionate. She opened the box to reveal a delicate silver bracelet, its surface catching the sunlight like a whisper. "May I?" Lily extended her wrist, feeling her father's proud gaze upon her. The bracelet felt cold as it clasped around her skin. "It's beautiful," Lily said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Thank you." "We're going to be such good friends," Isabel cooed, tucking a stray hair behind Lily's ear with perfectly manicured fingers. "Your father tells me you're quite the little artist. Maybe we'll redecorate your room together, give it a fresh, grown-up touch." Lily smiled politely, though every fiber of her being wanted to pull away. Before she could respond, the doorbell chimed. Guests were arriving. Nathan Callahan, ever the gracious host, went to greet them. Isabel's expression shifted as she turned back to Lily, her voice dipping lower. "This is an important day for your father and me," she said quietly. "I'm counting on you to help us make a good impression." For a fleeting moment, her eyes hardened. A warning. Then, as quickly as it came, the mask was back in place. The guests arrived in a flurry of handshakes and laughter. Aunt Caroline was the last to step through the door, Lily's favorite person in the whole family. Warm, no-nonsense, with a sharp mind that never missed a thing. 6 months, Richard Caroline murmured as they embraced. "You sure about this?" "I'm sure, Caroline. Isabel makes me happy. That's enough." The afternoon unfolded like a perfectly rehearsed play. Isabel charmed the guests, effortlessly praising Uncle Greg's business acumen, chatting gardening tips with Grandma Elise, reminiscing college days with Richard's cousins. But Caroline remained distant, observing, assessing. Later, while the others enjoyed dessert, Caroline found Lily alone in the kitchen. "How are you holding up, sweetheart?" she asked, handing Lily a strawberry tart. Lily hesitated, tracing a circle on the countertop. "Dad's happy." "That's not what I asked." Caroline's eyes were kind but sharp. "I'm asking about you." Lily bit her lip. "She's different when Dad's not around." The words slipped out before she could stop them. Caroline's expression sharpened. "Different how?" But before Lily could explain, Isabel appeared in the doorway, her smile as bright as ever. "There you are. Richard's looking for his 2 favorite ladies. He wants to make a toast." Her eyes flicked between them, gauging the moment. As they rejoined the party, Isabel placed a gentle yet firm hand on Lily's shoulder. The pressure made Lily flinch just slightly. Caroline noticed, and for the first time her polite mask cracked with a glint of suspicion. Lily sipped her sparkling apple cider in silence as her father raised his glass, blissfully unaware of the tension swirling beneath the surface. But Lily knew. Deep down she knew. Something wasn't right. And soon, everything would begin to unravel. 3 days had passed since the family gathering. The Callahan mansion had returned to its usual quiet. But for Lily, the silence felt heavier now. Her father had left early that morning for a business trip, an overnight stay in New York. The first time since the engagement, Lily would be alone with Isabel for more than a few hours. Lily was in her room trying to read when she heard Isabel's voice drift up from the first floor. "Lily, dear, come down, please. We need to have a little chat." Reluctantly, Lily set her book aside and descended the grand staircase. Isabel stood in the living room, perfectly composed, tablet in hand. But her smile, that carefully rehearsed smile Lily had grown so wary of, was nowhere to be seen. "I understand you have a piano recital next week," Isabel said, eyes still glued to her screen. "Well, we'll need to reschedule it." Lily froze. "But I've been practicing for months. Dad promised he'd be there." At that, Isabel finally looked up. Her eyes were cool, detached. "There's been a change of plans. I've arranged an important dinner with potential investors for your father's company. Family priorities need to adjust when business opportunities arise." Lily's stomach twisted. "But," Dad said, "let me make something clear." Isabel set the tablet down with a quiet thud. "Your father has spent the past 2 years drowning in grief over your mother. I am helping him reclaim his rightful place. In society. In life." She stepped closer, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor. "Your piano recitals and little school events are charming, but they're not the priority anymore." Gone was the sweet, gentle fiancée. Standing before Lily now was someone else entirely. Cold. Calculating. "I don't think Dad would agree," Lily said, her voice trembling but brave. Isabel's laughter echoed through the room, but there was no joy in it. "Your father sees what I want him to see, Lily. Men like Richard are predictable, especially widowers desperate for companionship." She circled the room slowly, her fingers grazing family photographs on the mantel, until she reached one of Lily's mother. With delicate precision, Isabel picked it up, tilting it as if examining a flaw. These old memories, so sentimental. But clinging to the past only holds us back. After the wedding, we'll be updating the decor. Fresh starts require fresh surroundings. Lily's heart pounded. "That's my mom." The words came out in a fierce whisper. Isabel's lips curved into a thin smile. "Your mother is gone, Lily. The sooner you accept that, the easier this will be for all of us." That night, long after the house had gone still, Lily lay in bed, eyes wide open. Her door creaked softly. Footsteps. She held her breath. The faint glow of the hallway light revealed Isabel entering her room. Not to check on her, but to inspect. "So much wasted space," Isabel murmured, glancing around as if surveying a property to renovate. She opened Lily's closet, flipping through clothes with clinical detachment. "This will make an excellent guest suite after the wedding," she said quietly. When she finally left, Lily buried her face into her pillow to muffle her sobs. For the first time, the fear she felt wasn't just about losing her mother's memory. It was about losing her father and her home. And she realized no one else would see what she saw. unless she did something about it. The next morning, Lily sat across from her father on a video call. His smile appeared on screen, familiar and comforting, but she couldn't shake the knot in her stomach. "Dad, I need to tell you something. It's important." Richard leaned closer, concern flickering in his eyes. "What is it, sweetheart?" Lily hesitated. Could she even explain it right? Would he believe her? "It's about Isabel," she said carefully. "She wants to cancel my piano recital, and she said she's going to take down all the photos of Mom." For a moment, her father's brow furrowed, a crack in his cheerful facade. But then, as if rehearsed, his smile softened again. "Sweetheart, I think you might be misunderstanding her." He let out a soft sigh. "Isabel mentioned there was a scheduling conflict. We'll figure it out. And as for the photos, she only suggested updating some of the older frames. Nothing more. But Dad, Lily," his voice was gentle but firm, "change is hard. I know this isn't easy for you. Isabel is trying to make this work. For all of us. Can you give her a chance?" The weight of his hope pressed down on her, just like before. "Okay." The word barely left her lips. But what else could she say? After they hung up, Lily sat by her window clutching a photo of her mother. The same photo Isabel had casually dismissed the night before. For the first time, a terrifying thought formed in her mind. Her father couldn't see what she saw, or worse, he refused to. She was completely alone in this. Later that afternoon, the rain streaked the windows of her classroom. The soft tap-tap against the glass matched Lily's restless tapping of her pencil. Her math worksheet lay untouched, numbers blurred together, meaningless. Sophie, Mrs. Reynolds's voice pulled her back. The school bell had rung 5 minutes ago. Everyone else had left. "You seem a little far away today. Is everything okay?" Startled Lily gathered her things. "I'm fine, just thinking." Mrs. Reynolds didn't push, but her worried eyes followed Lily as she left. Outside, the school bus had already gone. Isabel was supposed to pick her up. Lily didn't mind waiting. At least it gave her a few more minutes of peace. Standing under the awning, she spotted a sleek black car parked across the street. Not Isabel's red convertible. Different. Through the rain-speckled glass, Lily saw her. Isabel, seated in the passenger seat. But she wasn't alone. A man sat beside her, leaning in close. Too close. Lily's breath caught. She shrank back into the shadows of the doorway. Then it happened. Isabel laughed, touched his face, and kissed him. Lily fumbled for her phone. Her hands trembled, but she managed a blurry photo. By the time Isabel pulled up in her own car 15 minutes later, her smile was perfectly in place. "Lily, darling, I'm so sorry. The traffic was just dreadful." Lily slid into the passenger seat, her mind racing. "That's okay. I was talking to Mrs. Reynolds about my project." Isabel chatted the entire way home about flowers and wedding menus, but Lily barely heard a word. When they passed the spot where the black car had been, it was gone. But Lily now had her first piece of proof. Blurry, fuzzy, but proof. And that was enough to begin. Her investigation had officially started. That night, Lily sat in her room, the blurry photo of Isabel with the mystery man still fresh on her tablet. It wasn't much, but it was something. She created a new folder, labeled it Operation Truth, a secret mission. Just her, for now. Over the next few days, she kept her eyes open, watching, listening. Isabel's phone calls, her whispers that stopped when Lily walked into a room, her stories that didn't quite add up, and every time, Lily took notes, screenshots, dates, times, everything. But Isabel was careful, slippery, always one step ahead, until the school pickup 3 days later. Lily was waiting outside when she spotted that same black car, parked across the street. Same man, same leaning in too close body language. Isabel climbed in like she'd done it 100 times. This time Lily was ready. She snapped clearer photos. Isabel's smile wasn't for Richard. It was for him. Later that night, Richard returned from a business trip, exhausted but happy, oblivious. Lily knew it was time. She knocked on his study door, clutching her tablet tight. "Dad, can we talk? It's important." Richard smiled, gesturing her in. "Of course, sweetheart. Always." Lily sat across from him, took a breath, and said the words that felt like lifting a mountain. "It's about Isabel. I don't think she's who you think she is." The smile faltered. "Lily, please, just listen." Her voice was stronger now. "I've seen her with another man. Multiple times. I have pictures. I've heard her on the phone. She's lying to you, Dad." Richard frowned, leaning forward. "You have photos." Lily turned her tablet, showing him the clearest image she had. Isabel. The man. Too close to deny. But Richard shook his head. "Honey, this could be anyone. Maybe a friend, a planner. You know how weddings are. Everyone's involved." But she kissed him. Nathan's expression hardened. "Sophie, you're still adjusting. This has been hard for you. Maybe you're seeing things through the lens of missing your mom." "No, Dad. This isn't about Mom." Lily's voice wavered. "This is about protecting you." But he wouldn't see it. Not yet. His mind was made up. Before she could say more, Isabel appeared in the doorway. "Everything okay in here?" she asked sweetly, though her eyes flicked to Lily's tablet. "Fine," Richard said, standing. "Just a little father-daughter chat." Lily could feel Isabel's gaze burning into her as she turned to leave. "I'd be happy to talk with you too, Lily." Girl to girl. That fake smile again. But there was an edge to her voice this time. A warning. After she left, Richard patted Lily's hand. "She wants to make this work. For all of us. Please try to give her a chance." Lily nodded silently, but deep down she knew. There was no more time to wait. If her father wouldn't believe her now, she needed real proof, proof no one could ignore. Her investigation wasn't over. It was only just beginning. The next morning, Lily's pillow was still damp from silent tears. She'd tried to make her father see, but Isabel was good. Too good. Her web of lies held tight. But Lily wasn't giving up. As soon as she got to school, she asked for Mrs. Reynolds, her favorite teacher, someone who listened. In the quiet of an empty classroom, Lily confessed everything. The photos, the lies, the man in the black car. Mrs. Reynolds listened carefully, her brow-furrowed lips pressed into a thin line. When Lily finished, there was a long pause. Then, "You've done the right thing, Lily. But if you want adults to believe you, you need facts. Not just feelings. Dates, times, details. Write it all down. Every inconsistency. Every strange encounter." Lily nodded. This was what she needed. A plan. After school, she didn't go straight home. Aunt Caroline was waiting. Lily had texted her the night before emergency. About Dad. Caroline believed her. From the first word. "I've had a bad feeling about Isabel since day one," Caroline said, pulling Lily into a hug. "You're not crazy, sweetheart. You're smart." Lily's heart squeezed tight. Finally, someone was on her side. "I have a friend," Caroline continued. "Private investigator, discreet. If there's dirt on Isabel, he'll find it." Lily's hope flickered to life. That evening, the Bennett mansion was as beautiful as ever. But to Lily, it felt like a stage set, a facade. Isabel floated through the rooms, her smile flawless, her laugh perfectly timed. But her eyes, they kept finding Lily. And every time there was that flicker of something cold, sharp, dangerous. Lily stayed quiet, watched, waited. A message from Caroline buzzed her phone later that night. "Investigators on it. Might take a few days. Be careful." Lily stared at the screen, determination settling in her chest. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't alone. And soon the truth would come to light. But Isabel wasn't going to make it easy. As the house settled into nighttime stillness, Lily made a promise to herself, no matter what it takes, "I will protect my dad." 2 days later, the Bennett estate buzzed with preparations. Florists, caterers, people Lily didn't know swarming like bees in a hive. The wedding was in 10 days. To everyone else, it was a celebration. But for Lily, it was a countdown. That morning, Aunt Caroline had called. Her voice was tight, serious. "Lily, the investigator, found something. Isabel isn't who she says she is. Her real name's Vanessa Hill. She's done this before, twice. Both husbands, dead. Accidents. And life insurance payouts. Big ones." Lily's breath caught. She wasn't imagining it. "But we need more," Caroline said. "We need solid proof before we go to your father. He's blind to her." Lily's fists clenched. "Then we'll find it." That afternoon, the perfect illusion of Isabel continued. She charmed the wedding planner, joked with the housekeeper, even brought Lily a new sketchbook. But behind every smile, Lily saw it. The cracks. That evening, as the house quieted, Lily slipped into Isabel's office, the same guest room now transformed. She knew she had minutes. Her fingers trembled as she searched drawers, flipping through folders, receipts, guest lists, nothing. Until, tucked behind a stack of fabric swatches, she found a slim black notebook. Her heart pounded as she flipped it open. There it was. Dates, names, numbers, life insurance policies. Not just her father's name. Others. And circled in bold red ink, 50 Ampiano July staged accident. Her hands were shaking as she took photos with her phone. Then a sound. Footsteps, coming closer. Lily stuffed the notebook back, heart-hammering, and barely made it out the door when Isabel stood at the end of the hall, smile sweet, eyes sharp as glass. "What are you doing up so late?" Lily forced herself to smile. "Just getting a glass of water." Isabel's gaze flickered, but she said nothing, just watched. As Lily retreated, every nerve in her body screamed, "She knows." Back in her room, Lily locked the door. She texted Caroline immediately, found the notebook, got photos. "Isabel's dangerous, be careful." And as she lay in bed, listening to every creak of the old house, Lily knew one thing for sure. The clock was ticking. And Isabel, no Vanessa, wasn't going to let her win without a fight. The morning of the wedding dawned bright and golden. But for Lily, it felt like storm clouds were gathering. Her father hadn't seen the notebook yet. Not because she didn't try. Because Isabel, Vanessa, was always there, always smiling, always watching. By noon, the grand hall was filled with guests. Laughter, music, champagne flutes clinking. No one suspected a thing, except Lily and Aunt Caroline. She spotted her aunt across the room, gave a small nod. Caroline nodded back, then subtly pointed to the entrance. There he was, Detective Callahan. Plain clothes but sharp-eyed. He'd seen the evidence. He believed them. But they needed more. They needed her father to see it, to believe it. Time was running out. Then came the moment. If anyone knows of any reason why these two should not be wed. The priest's words echoed through the hall. Lily's throat tightened. Her father stood there, handsome, oblivious, his smile so full of hope, she couldn't stay silent. Lily took a step forward. "I do." The room froze. All eyes turned to her. Her father's smile faltered. Lily's voice trembled, but she kept going. "Dad, she's not who she says she is. Isabel, her real name is Vanessa Hill. She's done this before. Married men. Took their money. And they ended up dead." A ripple of shocked whispers spread through the crowd. Isabel's mask didn't crack. Not yet. She laughed, light, dismissive. "Oh, sweetheart, I know this is hard. But spinning lies to stop a wedding, that's low even for a jealous child." Lily felt a flash of anger. "She's lying, Dad. Check the teddy bear Mom gave me. The evidence is hidden inside." That caught him. His eyes flickered confusion, doubt. "Lily, are you sure about this? I wouldn't lie about this. Not to you." The silence was deafening. Then Caroline stepped forward. "She's telling the truth, Nathan. You need to see it." "Right now." Nathan's brow furrowed. "Bring me the bear," he said quietly. One of the staff scurried off. Isabel's smile was still there, but her eyes had gone cold. "Really, Nathan, humoring a child's fantasy at our wedding, I just need to see it," he said, voice firm. Minutes later, the bear was in his hands. Lily's heart pounded as he unzipped the back. Out came the envelope. Photos, insurance documents, handwritten plans. His face drained of color. "Isabel?" He whispered it like a question, like a man trying to wake from a bad dream. And that's when Isabel snapped. With a sudden movement, she grabbed a heavy candlestick from the altar and lunged, straight at Lily. But Caroline was faster. She stepped in, intercepting Isabel, grappling her to the ground. Guests gasped. Someone screamed. Detective Callahan rushed in, cuffing Isabel as she thrashed. "It's over, Vanessa! You're done!" Breathless, Lily watched, as the woman was led away, no longer the perfect bride, but exposed for who she truly was. Nathan turned to Lily, his eyes filled with shame and gratitude. "I'm so sorry, Lily. You were right. About everything." Lily threw her arms around him, tears finally spilling. "I just wanted to keep you safe." And for the first time in months, Nathan held her close and whispered, "You did, sweetheart. You saved me." The wedding never happened, but in that moment, surrounded by the wreckage of a perfect illusion, something real was restored. A father, a daughter, a family. And as the guests filed out, murmuring in disbelief, Lily knew one thing for certain. They would be okay. Together. 1 year later. The house felt different now. Lighter, warmer, like the walls themselves had finally exhaled. Gone were the heavy drapes, the cold, polished furniture Isabel had chosen. Now there were soft blankets, sunlight streaming through wide-open windows, photos of Lily's mom everywhere, but not as a shrine, more like gentle reminders. Life had found its rhythm again. Nathan Bennett had never been busier, and somehow never more present. He still ran his company, sure, but his real passion, the Bennett Foundation. An idea born from Lily's stubbornness. A place that helped families spot scams, protect their loved ones. Because sometimes, grown-ups really don't see what's right in front of them. Today, though, work could wait. It was Second Chance Day. Nathan's own made-up holiday. A picnic in the garden. Lily's favorites. Aunt Caroline, Mr. Callahan, even Detective Monroe came by. People who had fought for their family. People who mattered. Under the old oak tree, Nathan handed Lily a small box. Inside, a silver compass on a delicate chain. "For when you need to find your way," he said softly. "Just like you helped me find mine." Lily blinked back tears, but her smile was wide. "I think I'm pretty good at directions now." Nathan laughed. "You're my North Star, Lily. Always will be." As the afternoon sun dipped low, stories were shared. Laughter filled the air, real, unguarded. News came that day, too. Victoria or Vanessa had been sentenced. 20 years. Tyler, 12. It was over. But really, it had been over the moment Nathan believed his daughter. That night, as Lily curled up on her bed, compass in hand, she asked the question that had been sitting quietly in her heart. "Dad, do you think Mom would be proud of us?" Nathan sat on the edge of her bed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I think she'd be proud of how we picked up the pieces, of how brave you were, of how we never let the bad guys win." He smiled. "Most of all, she'd be proud that we're still us." Lily closed her eyes, safe in that thought. The past had been painful, but the future, it felt wide open. Because sometimes the most beautiful beginnings start after everything falls apart. And in the Bennett home, a father and daughter had found their way back to each other. Together. Always. And that's where we'll leave Nathan and Lily's story. A journey through grief, deception, and most importantly, resilience. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. If this story touched you or made you think of someone who's always had your back, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Your stories, your thoughts, they matter here. And if you enjoy stories where courage and heart win in the end, feel free to hit that subscribe button and join our little storytelling community. There's so much more to share. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of paying attention. See you in the next story.